Hello and welcome to Geology Concepts. Today we are covering the second part of month of June's current affairs, which will include important updates from environment, science and technology, security and culture. So without any further ado, let's get started. So the first update is two important bird sanctuaries from Bihar's Jamui district, that is Nagi and Nakti bird sanctuaries, are included in under the Ramser Convention. So now this brings the total number of Ramsar sites in India to 82. Right, so there were 80 Ramsar sites previously. So this year, these two bird sanctuaries from Bihar's Jamui district, that is Nagi and Nakti, are included in the Ramsar Convention site. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about Nagi and Nakti wetlands. So these Nagi and Nakti wetlands are, as I said, are situated in Jamui district and are part of the Jhaja forest range. Okay. So this is the part of these two wetlands are part of the Jhaja forest range, where it hosts diverse flora and fauna species, which also includes 150 different bird species as well as mammals, fish, aquatic plants, and other reptiles and amphibians. Right. Now this is also an important area because it is designated as this area, that is the Nagi-Nakti wetland area, is an important bird and biodiversity area, right? And it is recognized by BirdLife International, which is a international level NGO which recognizes important bird and biodiversity areas, right? And it also provides habitat for various migratory and resident bird species, right? So now let's talk a little bit about what is Ramsar Convention. So the Ramsar Convention was adopted for the first time in 1971 in Iran's Ramsar city. Okay, so that is why it is called Ramsar Convention. So the Ramsar Convention was adopted in 1971 in Iran's Ramsar city, and India became a signatory to this Ramsar Convention in 1982. Now, for your information, India and China both have 82 sites and they rank globally third. UK has maximum numbers with 175, so UK comes first, and then comes Mexico with 144 sites. Then India and China both have 82 and they rank third. Okay, so UK has highest number of wetlands in the world, followed by Mexico and then India and China. Now, how does a site becomes a Ramsar site, right? So there are 9 criteria. But if any site fulfills even one criteria, it can be designated as 1 out of 9 criteria. If it is fulfilling, then it can be designated as a Ramsar site. And those criteria can include like supporting vulnerable and endangered species, critically endangered species, threatened ecological communities, all these things, right? So if all these criteria are fulfilled or any one criteria is fulfilled, that site can be deemed as a Ramsar site, right? And the thing is, whenever a party or a country become a signatory to the Ramsar Convention, it is the onus of that country to protect its Ramsar sites and maintain their ecological character, right? So it is more of a self-realization or self-checking on self-onus of the country who is signing this Ramsar Convention to protect its Ramsar sites. Now there is another record called Montreux record included in the Ramsar sites. These are the sites which are included in Montreux record. These are the sites which are whose ecological character are changing because of human intervention, right? So if human intervention is there and the site's nature and ecological character is changing over time, then these sites are included in the Montreux record. So previously India had 3 sites, right? Included in the Montreux record, like Loktak, Keoladeo National Park of Rajasthan and Chilika. But recently Chilika was removed from Montreux record because of conservation effort by the central and the Odisha government. So now we have 2 sites, that is Loktak of Manipur and Keoladeo National Park of Rajasthan. Both these sites are included in Montreux record because of human intervention. Their ecological character is changing over time. So that is all that you need to remember as far as your exam is concerned on the inclusion of 2 new Ramsar sites. Now, the UN Sustainable Development Solution Network, or SDSN, has released a report called Sustainable Development Report 2024, right? So this SDSN first released this kind of report in 2016, and since then, every year it releases and reviews progress of nations or the United Nations members, 193 members who are signatory to the Sustainable Development Goals, how they are performing year on year, right? Their progress on each specific SDG over years. Every country's collective progress over year. This SDSN network monitors this kind of development, right? So this SDSN network was established in 2012 under the UN Secretary General, and it promotes an integrated approach to implement the SDGs and Paris Agreement, right? So SDG plus Paris Agreement, both of them are integratedly promoted and monitored by the SDSN network. Now, what are the key highlights of this report? So the report highlights that on an average, only 16% of the SDG targets are on track to be met by 2030 globally. So as you know, the SDG goals, these 17 SDG goals are to be achieved by 2030. But the report says only 16% of it are on track to be achieved by 2030, right? So this is an alarming situation, and most importantly, the goals like SDG 2, which is zero hunger, SDG 11, that is sustainable cities and communities, SDG 14, that is life below water or ocean, SDG 15, that is life on land, and SDG 16, that is peace, justice and strong institutions, are particularly off track, right? So these are these are some of the SDGs, those are particularly off track, right? And the other observation is that there is a significant inter-country disparity in terms of achieving the SDGs. So Nordic countries are faring well, followed by BRICS countries, but the poor and vulnerable countries are lagging behind, right? So Finland ranks first, and Sweden second, then Denmark. So these are the Nordic countries, those are faring very well in terms of achieving their SDG goals. So Finland first, then Sweden, and then Denmark. India, on the other hand, ranked 109th out of 160 countries in this report. So you need to remember the rank of India for your exam. So India is at 109th rank out of 166 countries. But India's performance is good in terms of poverty reduction and quality education provided. So these two parameters are something where India is faring well. But if you see, there is a decreasing progress in sustainable cities and climate action targets. So where India on one hand, India is progressing on poverty reduction and quality education, at the same time India is lagging behind in terms of progressing its sustainable cities and climate action targets, right? So, and there is one new index that is released in this edition, which is called the New Index of Support to UN-based Multilateralism, or UNMI. This is also released by the SDSN network. It ranks countries based on their engagement with the UN systems, where Barbados is the highest, ranks highest in terms of engagement with UN. India is at 139th position, and US ranks last, because for the last few years UN has been avoiding United Nations or bypassing United Nations in many instances, right? So that's why USA was ranked last, but India ranked at 139th. Barbados, on the other hand, is the top country in terms of UN engagement, right? Now moving on, let's talk about some of the developments in quantum science and technology, that is science and technology portion. So United Nations has designated 2025 to be International Year of Quantum Science and Technology, because it marks 100-year anniversary of the famous quantum mechanics theory given by father of quantum physics called Heisenberg, right? Werner Heisenberg is called the father of quantum mechanics. He proposed the theory of quantum science or quantum mechanics in physics. So what exactly is quantum mechanics? It explains how these tiny particles or small objects simultaneously have both the characteristic of particles, that is pieces of matter, and also the characteristic of wave. So a tiny small object can behave both in a manner of matter as well as in wave. So that is the theory of quantum mechanics. Now it has many applications, but the most of the application that was talked in news is the quantum computing, where what happens is it uses qubits or quantum bits, which are typically the spin of the subatomic particles like electron and protons, as a basic unit of storage of information instead of the binary bits of 0 and 1, right? So as you know, the computer stores information in binary 0 and 1, but these are called bits, right? But what happens is quantum bits or qubits store the information in terms of the spin of this subatomic particle, that is electron or proton, right? So this is how the quantum computing performs, and it is used in super intelligent computers, AI development, and all these things. Now India has taken multiple initiatives for quantum technology, right? The first one is National Quantum Mission, launched in 2023. Then the Quest mission, which is quantum enabled science and technology to build quantum capabilities throughout India. Quantum Computing Application Lab, or QCAL, is also a quantum computing led research and development initiative, and there are such initiative that India is undertaking currently, right? So 2025, remember, is an International Year of Quantum Science declared by United Nations. Now in the field of AI, there is a significant development where the Google's DeepMind and the Isomorphic Labs combinedly developed a new AI model called AlphaFold 3. Now what this AlphaFold 3 can do is that it can predict structures of proteins, DNA, RNA, ligands, or any basic units of your human body, and it can predict how they interact, right? And it can computationally predict the structures and the interactions of all the life's molecules, that is this DNA, RNA, protein, ligands, etc., with unprecedented accuracy and speed. So it can perform all these tasks, predicting how they interact, how the structures form inside your body. It can predict and build a joint 3D structure and reveal how they all fit together at a high speed and accuracy, right? So if you give an input of list of molecules, that is proteins, DNA, etc., it can generate their joint 3D structure. So how they interact with each other, that can be predicted by this AI model, right? And its application, what application does it have? It can model the chemical modifications to the molecules which control the healthy functioning of your cells, right? And if that healthy functioning is disrupted, then it can lead to disease. So before a disease occurs, or after a new kind of disease has occurred, then this AI model can predict what changes are there in the structure so that that particular disease is happening. So that is all about the AlphaFold 3. Next up is the update on the Daksha project. So if you know that IIT Bombay is leading the Daksha project, which is a collaboration between three scientific institutions along with IIT Bombay, that is PRL, PIFR, and Raman Research Institute. Right. Now, what is this Daksha project? So, this is a proposal to build 2 high-energy space telescopes for the study of explosive astrophysical sources. Right. So, explosive astrophysical sources means it can detect or localize high-energy counterparts to gravitational wave sources. That means to study the gravitational waves, to study the gamma ray bursts. Right. What are the gamma rays? Gamma ray bursts are the short-lived bursts of gamma rays, which are the most energetic forms of light in the space, right? And what can it do? That if the Daksha project comes to completion, what can it do? It can give better coverage than the existing missions, right? And it can also predict the primordial black hole's mass, right? Which could be probed for the first time. It has never been probed before. If this Daksha project comes into existence, then primordial black hole mass can be predicted, right? And there are other gamma ray detection missions are there in space. One is AstroSat, that is India's multi-wavelength space observatory, which aims to study X-rays, optical and UV spectral bands. all this simultaneously. So AstroSat is something that India has in terms of detecting this gamma ray detection. Then there is Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope of NASA, then NASA's Swift Observatory. All these things are focused on gamma ray bursts or gamma ray detection. Okay, so that's all about the Daksha project. Now come to the security part. Indian Army received the first indigenously developed loitering munition suicide drones, that is Nagastra 1. Now what is this? This Nagastra 1, it is developed by Solar Industries. It's a private firm. So this indicates a public-private partnership where Solar Industries Economics Explosive Limited wing of Nagpur produced this kind of drones, right? This drone can neutralize hostile threats in kamikaze mode. So what is this kamikaze mode? That means it is GPS enabled and it can precisely strike that any target of up to 2 meters. And this term kamikaze, it refers to members of Japanese Air Force that attacked the corps in World War II, which are assigned to make suicide crash on a target. So this drone can crash on a site and accurately neutralize threats, right? So that's why it is called kamikaze mode. And it is equipped for day and night surveillance cameras and for surveillance purposes. It has 1 kg of high explosive fragmentic warheads, and the feature include abort missions, recovery and reuse mission, and it can also be reused by a parachute recovery mechanism, right? So it's a drone, that is Nagastra 1 is a drone developed by Solar Industries Economic Explosive Limited wing, and it's a unmanned aerial vehicle or the UAV, right? Now there are some defense exercises in news. The first one is GMEX. GMEX is the bilateral Japan-India maritime exercise that this year will be held in Yokosuka in Japan. This is the 8th edition since its inception in 2012. Next is OPEX, which is a joint military exercise between India's Air Force and Egyptian Air Force, which will be held in Egypt this year. Then this Tarang Shakti 2024. This will be the inaugural exercise and will be hosted by India for the first time, where 10 countries will participate, including Australia, France, Germany, Japan, Spain, UAE, UK, and USA. Okay, so these 3 exercises were new. Now, for the cultural aspect, Srinagar has been recognized as a World Craft City by World Crafts Council, right? Now, what is the significance of this recognition? It would boost the handloom and handicraft sector, will also benefit tourism, will also improve the infrastructure of that area and attract greater investment and funding to Srinagar, right? Now, this World Craft Council was founded in 1964 to empower the artisans and safeguard the craft heritage globally, right? But the World Craft City Award, it was launched in 2014, and this establishes a dynamic network of craft cities across the globe, which align with creative economy principle, right? It recognizes the role of local authorities, craftspeople, communities in cultural, economic, and social development worldwide. So the main focus of giving place World Craft City designation is to preserve the local heritage, local authorities, local craftsmen, local communities who are producing some locally exquisite products, right? So that's all about the World Craft City, where Srinagar is recognized as a World Craft City this year. Now the last one is UNESCO's Prix Versailles Award. This Smriti One Earthquake Memorial Museum, which is situated in Gujarat, is shortlisted for UNESCO's Prix Versailles Award. Now this award is categorized in 24 world titles, which includes various structures including airports, campuses, passenger stations, sports, museum, emporiums, hotel and restaurants. So mostly architecture, and it is given for the unique architectures. And to be selected, the project must be innovative, creative, reflect local heritage, be ecologically efficient, that means it should be sustainable, and promote social interaction and participation. So last year, the Bangalore Airport, or the Kempegowda Airport was selected for Prix Vasai Award. Now this year, the Smriti 1 Earthquake Memorial Museum was selected or nominated for the for this award. Now let's talk a little bit about Smriti 1 Earthquake Memorial. It was established in aftermath in the memory of the 2001 Gujarat earthquake victims, right? And it was inaugurated in 2022 because in 2001 the Gujarat earthquake, which was 7.9, one of the highest Richter scale earthquake, occurred in Bhuj, which took many lives in that area, right? And the most important feature of this Smriti 1 Earthquake Memorial is the presence of a Miyawaki forest, which is one of the world's largest Miyawaki forest inside this museum. Now, Miyawaki is a kind of method which was developed by a Japanese botanist called Akira Miyawaki, which involves planting different plant types of native trees in close proximity. Now, if you do that, it promotes rapid growth and biodiversity conservation. So, Miyawaki method is a unique method of urban forestry. And this Smriti 1 Earthquake Memorial has one of the largest Miyawaki forest inside this museum. So that is all about the month of June current affairs. I hope you have found something useful from this video. I will see you in the next one with important updates from the month of July. Thank you again. See you soon.